council this morning, and so that was kind of a closure for the intensive, and several people mentioned how grateful they were for the support of the membership and all of you who came and participated. It was great. It was really a good intensive, and kind of crammed a whole lot in there, and really appreciate the participation, support, your sincere practice, and we'll do it again this winter. I'm working on the schedule. My Dharma brother, Genro1st, who I have known forever, literally forever. We practiced together at UCLA, and he does a lot of work with the Bearing Witness retreats, with the street retreats, and he's seen in Africa. And we're planning to do a street retreat in October. Yeah, so this is a kind of pre-getting to know Gemma, and he and her will do that street retreat. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm a native Californian, and I live in New York, and it's always just a dream to be back. Yeah, to be back with you here, what a gorgeous place. I remember when this was a parking lot, and there was nothing, it was just dirt. And it's really transformed into a beautiful gem. So, yeah, congratulations on having a great place to practice. And a marvelous teacher. So, yeah, we have known each other forever. She was reminding me that we've taken many beach walks, but our most memorable event was riding an elephant.
That's right. We were on TV.
Yeah, we were on TV. So we go with that. But please take very good care of her. Take very good care of her. Seriously, she's a gem and she deserves it. And don't make her ask, just give her what she needs. Take excellent care of her.
We do too.
So before we start, thank you for introducing yourself, but I'd like to hear everybody's names. I've shaken hands and said hello to a number of you already, but I want to hear everybody's names first to bring you all into this conversation. So starting here.
Roisin.
Rashid.
Roisin. Is that my name?
Let's go this side.
Uncle Q. Sandra.
Ando.
Yoshi.
Indolus. Herb. Parker.
Sandy.
Jim.
Margie.
Great. And once again,
Goes on.
nice. Thank you. Pleasure. So, first, this is a significant day, being the end of your intensive practice period. So, congratulations, first of all, on completing your 6 weeks of practice. And congratulations again, because it is so not over. When you begin to intensify your practice, what you do is you build up an energy and a samadhi power and a faith and a devotion just through your practice itself that it would be a disaster to just stop. So please, I deeply encourage you, beg you to continue. Whatever you were doing, keep it up. And then when you get to your next intensive practice period, you'll go that much deeper, that much stronger. It's okay to take a day off here, though, but please, our practice is about consistency and about devotion and about paying attention to every moment itself as our lives as the Dharma, which it is. So please continue. Yeah. With this momentum that you've built up. It's really good. So this talk was arranged when Jason and I first talked about my not paying dues for the White Plum Sangha. But we got over that pretty quickly, and somehow we got to potentially doing a street retreat here in San Diego, which sounded wonderful to me. And so very quickly I made contact with Herb, who's not here, right? And we set one up. And then, having done that, it seemed I was going to be back here. My mother turned 90 on Friday, so we had a birthday party for her. And that was a lot of fun. So, knowing I was going to be here for a few days for this big family event, we decided on this talk. And the subject of the talk was to be how to encourage more people to join the street retreat, one, but about bearing witness in general. Is that okay? So, bearing witness. Yeah, the first bearing witness retreat that we did was in Auschwitz in 1996, Auschwitz-Birkenau, Poland. And Roshi Bernie Glassman had been there 2 years earlier and was attending a interfaith conference. And I'm not sure why they decided to do it there, or who was sponsoring it, but he'd never been there before. And Eve Marco, Roshi Eve Marco, his wife, was there with him. And they'd spent a few days in and around that place, and he was completely struck, blown away. You know, the definition of nirvana, I really love this definition of nirvana, is blown out. That's what it is. So he was blown away, blown out by this place. Very strong, very spiritually intense. And he decided to do a bearing witness retreat there. So we did the first one in 1996. And it was only planned to be 1 year, just one time there. But and there were 150 people that came from all religions, from many countries, from all over the world. And it was an unbelievably intense retreat. And nobody knew what would happen. When we brought the Jews and the Muslims together, and the Christians and the Buddhists and the Hindus and eventually Native American people. And what happens when you bring all those crews together? Polish, German, Swiss, and Austrian, and people who were right there in the mix and were the immediate inheritors of the trauma from World War II. And it was rough. Because it's a hard place to bear witness to. And so let me back up a little bit and go into what bearing witness is. So these retreats that we do, that we've done at Auschwitz, and now Rwanda, and on the streets, and around the world in hard places, have been done for thousands of years by spiritual practitioners in many traditions. Because it's known that when you go to the hard places, to the cremation grounds, to the battlegrounds, to the difficult places, you're confronting the hard part of life, of your own life. And there's a spiritual contingent there to bear witness to also. And when you go to the hard places, you're confronting all of your fears, all of the deep demons, all of the psychic craziness that might be in you. We project it as being out there, but it's really us. It's our life. going to these places is initially scary because we don't know what's going to happen. Truth being, of course, we don't know anything. But when we come out of our comfort zone and go outside of our normal routines, it brings up all kinds of fears. But when we really go in and confront them deeply, consistently, religiously, and spend time there, particularly with a supportive Sangha, enormous deep healing happens. And the shock for us at Auschwitz-Birkenau in 1996 was at the end. It was a joyful festival of light, totally unpredictable. Nobody knew that there was an enormous transformation of people, of spirit, of place, of everything. It was unbelievable what happened in 5 days there. People who'd been in major depressions, major difficulties just came out of it and rose up. Were you there in 96?
No, I was there maybe 98.
Yeah. Still going strong in 98, and it still does. But we go to these places in order to realize our life, actually. That's what it's about. It's not about bearing witness to what happened in World War II. It's not about the Holocaust and such, the Shoah. It's about bearing witness to our life as it is. Not to the demons outside, not to the Hitlers and Rwandan genocidaires. It's about us. It's about deeply seeing that we are not only the victims and the bystanders, but the perpetrators. It's all us. It's not outside of us. We are not innocent. But deeply seeing that, then we realize we've got an opportunity to heal not only ourselves but others, because we realize that all the actions, all the responsibility is right here, inside of us. Knowing that is great liberation, actually. So when we go to bear witness, we're practicing the 3 tenets, and I'm sure we talked about the 3 tenets here. 3 tenets were kind of an invention by Roshi Bernie Glassman and his wife Sandra Jishubons about how to define the basic underlying spiritual foundation of the Zen peacemakers. And so they came up with the 3 tenets, which are not knowing, bearing witness, and loving action. And they correspond deeply, immediately